Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to Surface Noise. Today I'm doing an end of the year video featuring basically a top 15 of the year for me. Records I bought and some other stuff that I didn't get a chance to buy but that I thought was really good that I heard. So we'll get that going in just a sec. So we're back. The first one I want to talk about that I didn't buy, there's a couple here. There was Courtney Barnett's new one, It Takes Time, Takes Time. I really like this. I didn't get a chance to pick up the record yet, but I've streamed it a few times, and I really think it's awesome. Reminds me a lot of her first record, her first full length. It just, yeah, it gives me that vibe. I like this a lot better than the last one she did. So even though that was okay, but I preferred her debut, and this really, I think, has a similar feel to the first album. So that's kind of like an honorable mention. Since I don't have the record yet, I won't be showing it off. Another record that I want to pick up soon, Mastodon, that is Hushed and Grim. Great record. I've listened to it, streamed it a lot, heard it a bunch of times. Really reminds me of their older stuff, a little bit better, I think, than the last couple of records they did. And again, it's high on my list to get as soon as possible. And the other thing that came out, and I don't know if it's even going to be put on vinyl, but Jonsi from Sigur Rós put out something called Obsidian. It has something to do with a gallery showing or something he put on, but he created this music to go along with this event, and it's amazing. It's like an ambient style thing. It's very reminiscent of the earlier Sigur Rós stuff, going back to their second, third, fourth record, that kind of stuff, Tack and all that kind of thing. So, but with a little more ambient stuff mixed in. So that I would like, and I hope they do release it on vinyl, because I'd like to pick that up. Otherwise, I guess I'll just keep listening to it on Spotify or YouTube. All right, so those are the honorable mentions. Now we'll get going on the list. Okay, so let's get into the meat of it. So I'm going to cheat a little bit with the first one. This is actually a reissue. But it did have some new material. So this is Sharon Van Etten. This is Epic 10. So this was a reissue of her album from 2010, her second record. And you can see there, what's special about it, aside from the fact that it's an awesome record, is that the second disc has covers of every song from her album. So you've got Big Red Machine, which was Bon Iver and the guitarist from The National, one of the Desner brothers. A Crime, they do. Idols does Peace Signs. Save Yourself, Lucinda Williams. D-Sharp G was done by Shamir. Courtney Barnett and Vagabondo do Don't Do It. St. Panther does One Day, and Fiona Apple does a cover of Love More. So that's basically why I included this. So this would be my only reissue included, but it's awesome. It's worth picking up if you can get a copy. It's amazing. Yeah. So getting into the actual albums, new albums released. Starting with St. Vincent, Daddy's Home. I really like this one. It has a cool sound, cool, neat feel to it. I like the last one. I like most of her stuff. There's a nice packaging on it too. That's pretty cool. I think this was the Vinyl Me Please pressing. Came with a nice poster. Nice colored vinyl. But more importantly, it's just a cool record and different, like most of her stuff. She's always evolving and changing, and that's what makes it so interesting. So that would be 15, I think, number 15. These aren't any official order, except for when you get near the top. Those are my absolute favorites. Like probably the top 5 would be kind of official, but for now, it's just kind of stuff I like. This is Gujira, Fortitude. I think the only metal record in here, but I'm not really that familiar with them. I've heard a couple now, but maybe 2 or 3 records by them. So I do want to pick up more stuff. But this right here I liked it a lot. It's nice to get some more metal. I don't have as much as I'd like, so yeah, good one. Roadrunner Records, and very good album if you like to rock out a little. It's another really good one. This is a singer-songwriter, Arlo Parks. I believe it's her debut record. It's amazing. It has singles Eugene, Black Dog, and Hurt on it. Very soulful songs. It's beautiful. Mine was a red variant. But yeah, a really solid record, top to bottom. Very good songwriting, amazing vocals. Very, like I say, very soulful stuff, and I liked it a lot. Next up, a record not everyone liked, but I did. I'm not as familiar with any of his material aside from the previous record, but this is Steven Wilson, The Future Bites. I really liked it. I think it's great. I don't know how it compares to the work he's done with Porcupine Tree or his earlier solo recordings, but I like it. And I thought it has some amazing choruses in it. Very, very melodic, poppy stuff. So maybe it's too poppy. I'm not sure. But I liked his previous album too. I thought that was quite good. So anyway, that's why I chose this one. I might be the only one doing lists like this that chose that, but I like it. Next up, we have Low, a band I've always loved from the beginning, and they always remain interesting. This album is called Hey What, even though the cover doesn't say that. But if you look at the sleeve, you can see it. Yeah, this is a great album too. I like their last one, Double Negative, and this one's great as well. Always a little bit different. They seem to be growing, expanding always, and that's pretty amazing. On Sub Pop, there we go. Low, So What, right? Hey What, sorry, not So What, Hey What. Next up, personal favorite. This is Guided by Voices. It's not them. It couldn't be them. It is them. They did put out 2 records this year. The other one was Earthman Blues, which got a lot of good reviews. I kind of like this one better. That's why I picked it, but both good. I mean, the pace that they've been putting out records for the last 3 or 4 years is kind of amazing. And the fact that most of them are pretty good. You know, they're certainly all listenable. And I find they grow on you. It's like a lot of the Guided by Voices material. It seems the more you listen to it, the more it grows. More of it, it's always a grower, you know. So this one has High in the Rain is one of the singles, Dance of the Gurus, and My Limited Engagement. But there's some great stuff all through here. So I do recommend this if you're a fan, or if you're just looking for some cool indie garage rock type style stuff. Next up, my favorite for sure. This is Sons of Kemet, Black to the Future. And I was a fan of their last record that introduced me to the band. But this is more good jazz. Kind of, I guess, new style jazz. I'm not sure how you'd describe it exactly, since I'm not an absolute expert on these things, but I do know what I like when I hear it, and I like this, and I like their previous one. So this is definitely an album to pick up, and it is on Impulse, which is an amazing label. So pretty much anything on Impulse I think is worth getting. So there's that. I'm going to put that away later. The plastic's too tight. Next up is one of my favorite artists. And this is Julianne Baker. This is, what is this called? Little Oblivions, right there. This is a great one. So you now has 3 records. This is her 3rd. This came with a little booklet too, like here. That's pretty cool. Like that. This is give me a sec, I'll show you the, that's the variant on this one. Kind of cool looking, trippy stuff. Good album, great. She's a great singer-songwriter, always improving and changing and sounding a little different all the time, but still staying true to herself. So if you liked any of the previous stuff, or even if you like people like Phoebe Bridgers or Lucy Dacus or any of these singer-songwriters that have been coming out, I think you'd enjoy this too. Next up, another beast of a record. This is Idles, Crawler. Idles, a band who do not have a bad record. Everything they do is amazing. This is a bit of a change of pace, slightly. I mean, their approach. It doesn't sound exactly like Ultramono or Joy's and Act of Resistance, or even their debut. But still, man, it's still amazing. It's a different approach, the songs are a little different in that sense, a little slower at times, a little more drawn out, but wow, still awesome record. Singles on here were Car Crash and the Beachland Ballroom, at least so far. I think there may be more, because it is that good. Next up, this is a heavy record. This is Lingua, Ignota, Sinner Get Ready. This may not be for the faint of heart. It's pretty amazing. She's classically trained musician, an amazing artist. This is, like I say, this is big. We've got songs like The Order of Spiritual Virgins, The Perpetual Flame of Centralia, The Solitary Brethren of Ephrata, Man is Like a Spring Flower. I mean, there's just big, or even Repent Now, Confess Now. Yeah, it's pretty deep. It's pretty intense, but it's still also an incredibly amazing record. Amazing instrumentation and very in your face at times, but worth checking out if you're a music fan. Next up, that is a Sargent House record, by the way, on Sargent House Records. And the next one is also Sargent House Records. This is Emma Ruth Randall, Engines of Hell. This is really great. Kind of a lot of piano and acoustic guitar on this. Very kind of soft, but dark at the same time. You know, a little bit darker. Really gorgeous record though. Just a beautiful bit of songwriting and music. This one's on a white vinyl variant, but this is one of my favorites of the year. Really, it's a great listen, and it's the first thing I've heard of hers. So I got to go back now and check out more of her stuff, because obviously it's amazing, and I need more. Next up, since we're into the favorite section, there's only a couple left here. Another amazing record. This is Floating Points, Pharoah Sanders, with Pharoah Sanders and the London Symphony Orchestra. This is basically comes in. Floating Points is a single artist who does a lot of, I guess, ambient electronic type stuff. Of course, Pharoah Sanders is a famous saxophone player and jazz musician, and of course, then we have the orchestra. But this is a great listen. This is very soothing, I find, very, very relaxed, chill type music, and it just awesome. Again, that's why it's so high on this list of records. Next up, another one of those amazing bands that doesn't seem to put anything bad out. This is Godspeed, You Black Emperor, and that would be God's P at State's End. Oh, they left out the O in Godspeed, but anyway, it's amazing as usual. Great kind of, I guess, instrumental post-rock, and it's one of my favorites this year. and it falls right in line with the rest of the discography. I mean, more just amazing work from these guys, and they never fail to impress me. I think I have 5 of the records now, and every one is good. Not a bad one in the bunch. And we're to the final record, and I think this is definitely one of the best records this year. Always been a fan of this artist. Glad to see how amazing this record is. And this is Little Simz, Sometimes I Might Be Introvert. And this album just grabs you from the moment you put it on. The beginning, the first track, Introvert, is just amazing. It just, yeah, you're just sucked right in. There's nothing you can do. And this is the variant I got. It's kind of cool. But yeah, and then it just continues. I mean, this whole thing is top to bottom great. It's would be my favorite. I think my favorite hip hop record of the year for sure. And ecstatic, glad this is in my collection, and glad that she put this out this year. This is great work, phenomenal. Really loved it, and that's why essentially it's my #1 record. So that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, you can like and subscribe. There's also a website, and I will leave a link in the description, surfacenoise.ca. As well, this will be the final video, I think, for the year. So I do just want to say I appreciate everyone who's watched this year. And if you subscribed, liked, commented, that's awesome. I appreciate that. You know, I love the fact that people will come and watch and enjoy and comment. It's an awesome thing. So thanks for that. I hope everyone has a great year, rest of the year, and a wonderful 2022. And I'll talk to you all again in the new year.